are much more violent than the Muslim world. And the problem of our era is, the main problem is not the violence of the Muslims, it's the violence of our Western policy. I'm the only Western man who went uninvited to Iraq and who lived with an Iraqi family, and I had the opportunity to see the other side and to see how they are suffering. And I was ashamed. Sometimes I had difficulties not to cry when I saw what happened to these people. For example, I spoke to a young student. I write his story in my book, Why Do You Kill? He's a student, he's 22 years old, he doesn't want to fight, he wants to make his studies, but then the Americans kill one brother, and then 6 months later they kill his youngest and other brother, and then he has no chance. He decides to fight against the occupation. But this guy is still very, very sad because he's not a fighter. He's a student and he doesn't want to kill. But that's the reason why I wrote this book, Why Do You Kill? He's fighting against the Americans because they killed his brothers, because he doesn't see any other way. He doesn't know what to do. And that's the situation in Iraq for all Iraqis, and that's also the situation now in Afghanistan. The situation in Iraq, I was in Iraq 2 weeks ago, and I was in several cities, Fallujah, Ramadi, Baghdad, is much worse than I thought. It's a rented deadlock. A rented deadlock means the Americans are now in their bases. They don't make patrols anymore in the streets, or less, much less. And the Iraqi resistance is fighting a little bit more hesitantly because the bled out tribes got a lot of millions from the Americans. So you have a rented deadlock, but you cannot buy an Iraqi, you can rent him, but not buy him. And so this rented deadlock can break any day if the Iraqis find out that perhaps Obama would prefer to leave 50,000 American soldiers in Iraq. Then the war will start again like it was 2 years ago. You know, I think Obama has made many great steps. For example, the step to discuss and negotiate with Iran, to say that I will pull out troops from Iraq, to show his respect to the Muslim world. He has done many positive things, strengthened the Afghan national security forces. All this is perfect. But there is one dangerous mistake. That's a mistake to send 17,000 more American troops to Afghanistan, because that's what the people in Afghanistan told me, that's what President Karzai told me, what ex-Taliban leaders told me, what normal people in the street told me. More American troops means more civilian casualties, because if you bombard a village, you always kill innocent people. This means more Taliban, and more Taliban means more terror. And not only terror in Afghanistan, and it increases also the danger of terrorism in our countries, here in New York, for example, or in my country, in Germany. Obama has a great profile in Europe and also in Germany. I'm one of these Germans who went to it was in July 2008, last year, when he made his speech in Berlin, and together with 200,000 people I was shouting, yes, we can, and everybody loves him, everybody respects him, but he has also one chance. It's a little bit like John F. Kennedy. People like him and people trust him, and therefore he has a huge chance to change politics into this world, and to change in a way to solve the problems not with missiles and bombs, but to solve them with negotiations. And that's the main duty of a politician. We don't need politicians to make war, we need politicians to make political solutions for political problems. The main problem is still the global terrorism. And if we make a fair and just peace in Iraq, a fair and just peace in Afghanistan, and a fair and just peace in Palestine, then there will be no more global terrorism. And that's what Obama has to do. That's what we have to do. Because you cannot fight terrorism with wars. The only strategy to fight, to overcome terrorism, is just peace.